have a question for you. Do you remember your last good pop, classical or hip-hop concert you went to, or a festival you went to? You met with your friends, your family, with everyone around the world. You all had a good time. You listened to music, you danced together, and you enjoyed music. And do you remember the feeling of being emotionally touched by this amazing atmosphere? I personally remember a concert that my brother-in-law Mike took me to. It wasn't really the kind of music that I would usually listen to. It was Iron Maiden, a heavy metal band. But when they started to sing along this one song, Fear of the Dark, it really moved me and touched me, and I started to sing along, and of course doing the hair. And I kind of felt part of the whole group, and every fellow was singing along this song. And there were no language barriers, no did it matter what religion, what political opinion, or what tradition each one might have had. People just felt emotionally grabbed by this amazing energy. The venue was filled with a power of unity. And since then, I actually feel that music is one of the strongest interpersonal communication tool. It brings people together and it moves people, and also it triggers empathy to actually change behavior. Oops. Maybe a few words about myself. I studied international business management, and I've been working in different service design and corporate and product design companies and helped build brand promises. And sorry. Yeah, and I always I wanted to do, at one point at my work, I wanted to do something more meaningful. And I was wondering what I could do actually with my background of studying international business management and doing something more meaningful. But I often used excuses, and some of you know that excuse, that I used excuses. I would like to donate, but I'm just too busy. I don't have time to help other people. Or I had the excuse, I would like to donate to this organization if I just knew the money would really get to the ones in need. Or also another excuse that might sound familiar to you was, this month I don't have enough money and the little I can give wouldn't make a difference probably. But I feel that each of us has a little I want to save the world in us. And our knowledge of right and wrong is innate in us. And how can we use this power of music, and that's what I thought, how can I use my background and do really something meaningful? And so I came up with the idea of building, I wanted to build a platform where you have the possibility to donate to a variety of projects, and where you can visually see the implication of my donation, and also see what the money is needed for, get an understanding of what the money is needed for, have it transparent and not hidden somewhere. And I feel donating should be easy, possible, and flexible for everyone, for everyone, anywhere and at any time. Now the next picture that you've already seen. Looking at the scene like that and remembering Iron Maiden, I thought, what can an artist or a band and music create if they are able to move a crowd like that and motivate a crowd like that? What then could the weight and a person like that generate in donations through their interest in social engagement? And it's nothing new. For a long time, celebrities and musicians have been politically and socially involved, and alongside their artistic work. For example, the British musician Bob Geldof, or Bono from U2, the Irish band U2, you probably know them, and also the German singer Herbert Grönemeyer. They've been part of a movement, Make Poverty History, that forced the G8 states to drop billions of debts of the poorest nations in the world. And also, another example is Lady Gaga. She never shied away of speaking up and making a statement of, for example, for the LGBT rights. And also, Katy Perry said in an interview recently, she said, if you have a voice, you have the responsibility to use it now, more than ever. And in this regard, Perry is far from alone. Sorry about the breathing. I was wondering, well, looking at an example of Katy Perry and Herbert Grönemeyer and U2, I was wondering, would it be possible that artists would or put aside their big egos? As you can probably imagine, they have big egos and everyone wants to be better than the other. Would they be willing to put aside their big egos, and also organizations that, you know, want donations? Would they be willing to put aside and be on one platform to raise their voices, not only for one charity work, but for a variety of projects? And in 2015, yeah, this picture actually should show that it's not about a few individuals that can do something, it's about what we can make together. And in 2015, I developed Musik bewegt, Music Moves, an online donation platform. I built it with others. It's always teamwork. Also there you work in a team. And with this platform, we want to offer a mutual communication and meeting point for social engagement, where artists stand for and help a variety of projects, and where fans, supporters, music lovers can actually get involved in social action and also do that together with their favorite artist. By now we have more than 50 different artists from rock, pop, punk, hip hop, classic. There is no limit to that either. And these artists present our ambassadors, and we present more than 70 social projects. This is the starting page, Musik bewegt. And on the platform Musik bewegt, each artist has his personal page where they present their social engagement and especially the projects that they really care about. On the project page, you get more information about the state of action, and you get updates, news when really the donation is really forwarded. And what is most important, and what I said earlier, that 100% of the donation, if you give, for example, 10 Switzer francs, 10 of the Switzer francs are really forwarded without any deduction. And you might ask, how can you make a living out of that? And we were lucky or happy that we found companies and friends, mostly from the music industry, that support our platform and our work. And the main aim of this platform is that we want to draw attention and bring awareness to all those projects, not only one topic, but the variety of projects. And here you see, for example, a whole page where we present all the projects. And to give you an example, it varies from humanitarian aid to human rights worldwide to environmental and animal protection. And a few examples of projects that we support is, for example, we help homeless people, for example, in Berlin, but we also have bigger organizations that support people that had to leave their countries to live in peace. But there's also a program that helps smaller projects, for example, a bee project, the little bees, and school children learn about the importance of bees and how if we don't have bees anymore, we won't exist. And this picture tries to show, we developed also a feature where not only artists can get socially involved, but you, the fan, the supporter, can actually have their own social action campaign. Meaning, for example, you have your next birthday party and you say, look, I want to, instead of gifts, which you don't know want, of course, instead of gifts, you say you want to support a social project of Peter Fox or Daniel Barenboim, and Musik bewegt actually gives you the platform for that, and you can forward the link. All these different artists on Musik bewegt serve as ambassadors, as I already said, for a variety of projects, not just their own. It's about a variety, like many projects. So, of course, each has one that is really close to them, but the importance is that they really stand everyone for everything, kind of. And we are some kind of a startup, so as you can imagine, it needs time to build up trust. Trust in our platform Musik bewegt, trust from organizations in the artists, of course, trust from the fans, supporters, and music lovers in their artist world, artistic or artist social engagement. But of course, you often say, well, he's only doing that to sell his next album or so. But this picture was taken in our last roundtable discussion, and the great thing is that Musik not only stays where a face of an artist remains just a face to a social project, but where they really come together and talk about how they can further encourage social engagement. And this picture was taken in April, where we had our last roundtable discussion, or the latest, and 40 of the artists and management showed up. And also this building is quite interesting because it's the famous Meistersaal. I don't know if some of you, do you know them, Meistersaal? Have you heard of them? It's at the Hansa Studios in Berlin. And it's quite famous because it was called Studio 1, no, Studio 2 actually, to be precise. And David Bowie, Iggy Pop, U2 and Depeche Mode, for example, they produced music albums just in this building and in this room. You probably know the song Heroes, that was produced there, and also People Are People. And it's so interesting that they produced it right there, because this building is very close or directly at the former Berlin Wall, dividing east and west. And what these artists actually, and you hear it if you know the song texts or the lyrics, people are people and heroes, you can see and hear that they try to not divide people but bring them together. And for us, it was a great meeting location, of course. But enough for that. Well, you can say that my experience, in a way, with Iron Maiden, my concert with Iron Maiden, was my trigger point to start something with music. And it kind of stayed in my mind. I think the idea of Musik bewegt is trying to be some kind of a counter movement in a world that currently tends to be more nationalist, and that tries to build walls to divide people. But I believe that the world, it sounds a bit philosophical, but I believe that the world is a big family with a lot of diversity, and music is the common ground. Just as I said at the beginning, if we are all together and we're on a concert or in a festival, we just have this power of unity, and we can do something together. And I personally come from a big family. I have 3 sisters and 1 brother, and we're all very different, complicated at times, and it inspires. This diversity inspires, and it's the same, I think, in the world. And I think it's the future of moving and doing things together. And most important, you don't need a hefty bank account to contribute towards humanitarian activities or help one another. Each of us can do something and move something, but together we're louder. Thank you.
Thank you very much.